The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Pow! Welcome to the Cosmic Disaster Show, everyone. I'm Tommy D, and this week on the show, I'm going to read off a card so I don't forget stuff like I do every single week. We've got your Mandalorian helmet giveaway. Ryan Reynolds makes a very, very special appearance on the show this week. We've got your holiday pandemic survival guide, big news you may have missed, and we asked your thoughts on the Elliot Page transition, and boy, did you answer us. So we're going to be talking about that. But first, before we do that stuff, let's go around and we're going to meet the nerds who are here with us today. I'm going to push a button. Boop. Mr. Deacon.
What's cracking, fellow nerds?
How you doing?
I'm all right. Feel pretty good.
All right. Good deal. Jake Wellen.
Hey there. How you doing?
We're doing super duper. Super duper. I'm just, obviously setting things up like I normally do. Daddy Louie.
Hello, children.
And how are you? You're a little starstruck tonight.
Fantastic. I'm a little what?
A little starstruck this evening.
I am.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be here.
You got some celebrities.
Great.
You got to see some celebrities tonight. Some TikTok celebrities.
I know.
But we'll talk about that a little bit later
Some
on.
tiki-tack.
And last but certainly not least, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., Mr. Chris Fury.
Fellow agents, I'm glad to be here tonight.
Outstanding. All right, hopefully I've got all this set up properly. I probably don't, but we will get to that at some point. I'm just trying to set the chat up, get the chat window all set up, and it just does not. I got to figure something else out for that, but we'll get there.
Our buddy Randy from Canned Air podcast said, "What's up?"
What's up, Randy? Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Welcome to the show. So we've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So again, we've got your Mandalorian helmet giveaway. Stay tuned for that. And we're going to talk about some controversial things this evening. So make sure you're strapped in, strapped up, and strapped on. And prepare for that. But first,
Yes.
Speaking of strap-ons, I think it's time to give you just the tips.
Yeah.
Yes,
here.
just the tip.
That is the worst music for this segment.
For
Ever.
this segment, it sure is.
That I love that fanfare, but it is the worst segment music. I got to figure something else out. All right, Chris Fury.
All right. So I am Chris Fury. I'm here for your Just a Tip segment. The pandemic known as COVID-19 has managed to flip the entire world on its head. From attending conventions to concerts to the most simplest of activities such as going to the movies, hanging out with friends, or even visiting family has managed to make many take notice in what is truly missed, human interaction. That's why for Just the Tips, I've come up with the Pandemic Holiday Survival Guide, a list of things that you can do to help endure this holiday season. So first off, let's start with create a virtual watch party. You have features like the Netflix party feature where you're able to watch, talk, and interact with friends and family while enjoying a film or television show. And if you don't have Netflix, have a Netflix account, which someone should out of your group, you can always use the watch party feature that's offered on Facebook, which everyone seems to have. So that's one. With online chatting, classes, and working from home may be all the rage right now. Imagine using Zoom, the Zoom app, to connect with friends and loved ones. Or if you're zoomed out, thank you, Jackie. If you're zoomed out, you can use the Portal. You can use the Portal TV or Portal Mini from Facebook. The price ranges from $130 to $280 and works in league with Alexa, so it allows you to turn your television into a live smart video calling device, so you can stay in touch with friends and family. Almost like FaceTime, just on your television. If you're cooped up in this quarantine era that is 2020 and is giving you cabin fever, not to mention put on a few extra pounds, try getting out the house. Take a walk around the block. There's many benefits for getting out the house and gaining more than health benefits. One of them is your mood will improve. Exercise of any kind signals your body to release endorphins, which improve mood and trigger positive feelings in the body. You'll feel more creative. Imagine you're feeling stuck on a particular project, cosplay you're trying to build, show you're trying to get together. This one action can do those wonders for you. You'll lower your risk of lung cancer. Your skin will look younger. You'll increase your vitamin D levels unless you live in Northeast Ohio in the winter season. And you'll have more fun. Number 4, mental illness is always an issue, especially during the holidays, and COVID has not made it any better. However, for those who struggle with mental illness or any depression, try these things. Try reaching out. There are local hotlines that can help you if you don't know who to talk to. One such hotline is the Northeast Ohio area is the Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services hotline. The number is 216-623-6888. Do random acts of kindness, like volunteering work. Generally, people feel good doing good for others. It does the same effect as just getting out the house. Pick up a phone, call a loved one or a friend. They may not have access to technology that I mentioned earlier, but it's still nice to hear a loving and friendly voice on the other end. That's number 5. But all in all, we're all dealing with the impact that COVID has brought upon us. But we must remain resilient. We must be vigilant, and most of all, stay safe and follow the CDC instructions. This is Chris Fury, and this is my pandemic holiday survival guide for Just the Tips.
Outstanding. That's good stuff, man.
Yes.
That's good stuff. I think, especially like the Zoom and the watch parties, like the Netflix watch parties, I have no idea how to set that up. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you, like, are you able to explain a little bit more about like how you can set up like a Netflix watch party?
They actually have a tab, like right where it says you can like create a post.
Okay.
Where it says photo, video, tag people. I can't remember what the other tab is, but this says watch party. They have a watch party tab, a button that you can create, and you just go ahead and fill out what you need to fill out. Easy peasy, walks you through.
That's it.
Hard. That's it.
Oh, all right.
And may I add, if you're feeling sad on Christmas in the evening, you can have a watch party with us.
There you go.
That's right. We are doing our watch party on Christmas Christmas Day, right? Is that correct?
Christmas Day.
Y'all are lucky. I almost said what we were watching. Like literally like the words like they were going like right here, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna
oh yeah. Yeah, that would not have been.
That would have been bad.
That would have been bad.
There's a whole contest around.
There is a whole fucking contest. So, let us know. I'd be curious to hear, what you're doing. This is our first holiday under these conditions. So I would be very curious to hear.
Holidays.
What's that?
We've had lots of holidays.
Well, I mean, this is, yeah, come on, Jackie.
The big ones, though. These are the big ones.
Cinco de Mayo.
Come on.
Did you say St. Patty's Day? Trash.
Well, you get trash on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, you get trash.
You get trash on St. Patty's Day. But this is the big one. I mean, a lot of people don't go traveling for Cinco de Mayo. I mean, you might get someone going to Mexico, I suppose, but but for the most part, people are, this is that one time of year where they are traveling, and there's a lot of traveling going on.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah.
Spence Clark in the chat said, "What is this? What do you guys do?"
Oh, geez, Spence. Wow. That is difficult to. That's a loaded question. What don't we do? What don't we do? Spence, thank you for the question. We just do a bunch of nerdy shit, man. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how else to describe that. We do a bunch of nerdy stuff, and some of it we do well. Some of it we don't. Well, yeah. Well, there's a couple things that we do well. There's not necessarily this show, but I mean, we do some things well here, but Spence, mostly what we try to do is just help people out, in whatever way that we can. Nerdy stuff, you know, talking about nerdy stuff. And yeah, anyone else care to answer that while I try to figure out what's wrong with Facebook Messenger here?
No, I liked your answer.
Yeah, your answer was
No,
excellent.
We do nerdy stuff, and we empower people, and we educate everyone.
Bring the pop culture aspect to it, you know.
We try.
Like to be a
Twist.
place for the socially awkward misfits of the world to unite and feel like you're not alone and have a family, because we're all socially awkward misfits ourselves.
Yes, we are.
He says he's a little nerdy. He just has his his drone pilot's license. It's FAA drone pilot's license.
FAA. All right.
And
All
he's
right,
a
well, that's
techie.
cool.
So, you know, that counts as you
That
be.
counts.
Yeah.
That absolutely
That
counts.
counts.
And you know, one thing, Spence, that we're really, really big on is gatekeeping. You know, no one is more nerdy than other people. You know, you're a tech guy. You know, you're a techie, and that's great. You are a tech nerd. We could probably get a lot of advice from you because
Yeah, really. Hey, Spence.
we don't do tech. Maybe you need to be a guest on our next episode because we don't
He
do
tell
tech
me-
well.
Yeah, he can show me how not to lose a drone. The first one I got, the first day was gone in the first hour.
I
Just
still
fucking
love
flew
that
away.
story. I
So,
still love that
if
story.
anyone would like to see that, Mr. Deacon, Mr. Deacon's drone flew away from him, like zoop, gone.
Yeah.
Wait,
Gone.
do we have an actual video of that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Roll the footage.
I don't have the footage. Oh, speaking of other things that we do, also, Spence, we usually have celebrity guests, and this week is no different. I forgot. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
So Ryan Reynolds is joining us this week again. Looks like he froze up. Oh, no, there he is. Ryan, thank you so much. We're really excited to have you. Ryan, I think his mic is muted. Ryan, I think your mic is muted, buddy. He's talking, but there's no words coming out. And he froze again. He froze again. So once again, that
Shame,
Jesus,
Canadian
Ryan.
internet.
Come on, man.
shame.
Canadian internet. All right, we'll try to get him next time. So hey, let's find out what's happening this week in the Nerdyverse, shall we? Are you guys ready, or did I just drop that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go.
I'm going first.
Let's do the thing.
Yep.
So on Sunday this past week, English bodybuilder turned actor David Prowse passed away at the age of 85. David was best known as the man in the suit of Darth Vader in the original Star Wars trilogy. Chris?
If you have watched all 8 seasons of Arrow on the CW and any of the other shows connected to Arrow, then you know who John Diggle is, aka Spartan. John Diggle is played by David Ramsey, and it's been announced that the John Diggle character will be appearing on several Arrowverse shows next year that include Supergirl, The Flash, Superman and Lois, and Batwoman, while also having a mysterious role on DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Starting in the new year, spoiler alert, in the final episode of Arrow, a mysterious object crashed to Earth in John's vicinity. Upon opening the box, something bright and green was flashed in front of him. Can you guess what that mysterious role is? Louis?
That's a great question, Chris.
Bum, bum, bum.
In addition to previously announced Wonder Woman 1984, WB announced on Thursday that its entire 2021 cinema lineup will also be available and released on alongside on HBO Max. This includes highly anticipated movies such as Dune, The Matrix 4, and Suicide Squad. Will other products follow suit? Time will tell. Chris?
Florence Pugh, Vera Farmiga, Haley Steinfeld, and Tony Dalton have all been tapped to play pivotal roles in the upcoming Disney Plus series Hawkeye. Reprising his role as Hawkeye will be Jeremy Renner, with Haley Steinfeld playing Kate Bishop, aka Hawkeye, as in the comics. Florence Pugh will be reprising her role as Yelena Belova from the still unreleased Black Widow film as the second Black Widow, while Vera Farmiga will play Kate Bishop's mother. And Tony Dalton is said to play Jack Duquesne, aka the Swordsman. There has not been a release date for the series at this time. And that is what happened this week in the Nerdyverse.
Excellent.
So I have one more bonus one that I didn't want to throw in.
Yes, give us your bone.
I'm gonna give the bonus.
Give us your bonus.
And it's more like personal this week in the Nerdyverse stuff. But Bleacher Report, covered it, and ESPN covered it. So Daddy Louie is gonna cover it. Wednesday night, the Legends thing returned to TNT for the first time since 2001 when WCW went off the air. The legend is back. The icon is back. I was so excited. I nearly pissed my pants.
It's amazing that it's been that long.
19. Well, so he did wrestle on Impact Wrestling, and he did wrestle a little bit on WWE. He officially retired as a WWE Hall of Famer in, I think, 2015. But this is the first time that he's wrestled on TNT, because TNT is where WCW, of course. So for those of you who don't know wrestling, right? Everybody knows Hulk Hogan. Everybody has heard the name Hulk Hogan.
Is he stepping to a Slim Jim or?
No, that's Macho Man.
Oh,
Macho Man.
I was joking.
Jake Quellen, how dare you?
So
I know who Hulk Hogan is.
Where is it at?
Hulk Hogan.
You didn't hit the button, Tommy.
Which one? Here, we'll give her that one.
You don't understand my humor.
Hulk Hogan is to WWE or WWF at the time as Sting is to WCW. So it's a big deal.
Okay.
How much Bengay did he have to rub on after that
Woman
match?
Crush Wednesday.
So he just came out and kind of like stared at people. He didn't actually wrestle or do any moves. And a lot of the anticipation is, given his, because he did suffer a really bad neck injury back in 2015. And he is, I think, 61 years old is what I saw when I looked him up online.
Damn.
So, I mean, I don't anticipate that he'll wrestle. And if he does wrestle, he'll probably wrestle like in a tag team match with like a young person, so that all he has to do is tag in, do one move, and then tag out. I don't anticipate him being like a champion or anything. He'll probably be like a manager and stuff like that. For the putting the younger crowd over. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, how much Bengay did he rub on?
You can smell it from your sofa at home.
Yikes.
That's that Castile peppermint soap and everything.
All right, so before we move on into our big topic, if there's nothing else, since we were derailed by wrestling.
Sorry.
Again, as per usual. I'm just kidding. If you're joining us for the very first time, and if you happen to be a Mandalorian fan, look at that. That is just sexy. Sexy. Anyway, so this here bucket is brought to us by our good friends over at ImperialSurplus.com. And what's happening with this helmet, we're giving it away. Every single week, we have what we call the safe word, and that safe word is part of the phrase that pays. So for those of you joining us for the very first time, all you have to do is listen to the show, watch the show, listen or watch for that safe word. Once you get all of them together, put together the phrase that pays, and then send your answer to contact@circleofnerds.com. And then from that list of correct answers, we will draw our winner in this beautiful helmet contest. Now, not only do you win the helmet, but you're also going to win a paint job and weathering job on this. So this is going to be set up for you. It's going to be completed, ready to wear out of the box with a paint scheme that you specify, professional weathering, and all of that. So you can either use this as the start of your first or next Mandalorian kit, or just display it as a showpiece, because it will be a one-of-a-kind helmet just for you. And that's that.
Mando girl likes your sexy bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone likes my sexy
Jamie
bullet. Yeah, who doesn't like my sexy bucket? It is a sexy bucket. And again, that is from our very good friends, ImperialSurplus.com. Please check them out. That's Kevin Weir over there. He is a one-man armor army. The guy just he produces the best clone trooper armor on planet Earth. So this is actually, that helmet is from the Clone Wars animated series. That is a Death Watch helmet. So if you're a Death Watch fan, then that helmet there is just for vous. So, moving on, shall we? Big news! Lots to talk about here. Jay Quellen, we're going to have you lead the charge on that since you've kind of been monitoring things a little bit. So, take it away.
Monitoring things. Okay, so the question of the week, is that what we're doing?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the news is kind of flooded with, Elliot Page has come out discussing their transition. The question of the week was, should this be the news or should this be the norm? And we have lots of comments, and I love it. I was reading through, I haven't read all of them, but I was reading through earlier. Lots of good stuff in here. Okay. Jonathan Wiley says, it's just gossip. Journalism requires effort. This is just regurgitating a press release.
Ooh.
Walter Andrew Barrows says, honestly, I don't really care. It's news though, because there are people out there struggling with who they are, and this helps them to know that they aren't alone. So for that reason, I say it is. Emily Ann says, due to his celebrity status, letting people know, for us to be aware and not dead name, I believe would be enough. Not that I'm not proud of him for being so open with us, but this should be the norm now. And people should just be more accepting of and understanding. Terry Z said, I think in many ways, this being news is normalizing the announcement, much like when Ellen came out as gay on her sitcom. That was big news, but now folks being gay on TV and movies and everyday life is normal. This is the beginning, in a way, our transition as a society. Tamara said, as long as it is to make it more normal and okay, but sensationalizing it is can't speak today, but sensationalizing it like it's a freak show is not okay. It must be a bit scary and intimidating for him, though. That's a lot of weight to carry.
All right. So, well, no, let's take. And we have a lot of comments. And if you want to,
Mr. Spence,
that was halfway through.
So,
Mr. Spence is like wilding out here.
Wow.
That she could still get it. Wow.
So
I heard that.
If you want to read some more of these comments, you can head on over to our Facebook page. That's where that is. So facebook.com/Circle of Nerds. Check that out. Leave your own comment. Let us know what you think as well. And I was going to mention it before I forgot, but when we're talking about the holidays, again, under quarantine, how are you handling it? What are you doing, to take care of yourself, self-care? How are you handling not being able to go spend time with family? Are you just saying, fuck it, I'm going to go spend time with family anyway? Or are you, locking yourself down? So let us know in the comments what you're doing and, what you think. So I'm curious about the thoughts that the Circle has on this. And Mr. Deacon, we're going to start with you. Now,
boy,
is this all right? So we're talking about this. So Elliot is we've seen Elliot in lots of fun nerdy stuff. Elliot was Kitty Pryde in the X-Men movie. A lot of stuff. The Umbrella Academy currently. So what was the first Juno? Is that where we first?
Juno, yep.
We first encountered.
Actually, my first encounter was Hard Candy, which I'm sure none of you have ever seen.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, you would be correct.
It's a movie, man. You don't know who the villain is in that movie. Is it good? With your mind.
Good movie though.
Yes, it is. It could be triggering for some people. It's a very intense movie. Elliot then played I think 14-year-old girl who had been catfished by an older gentleman.
Okay.
Lured to his house for the things that you do.
Sure.
When you catfish people, And she turned the tables on him, the 13-year-old in the movie.
Spoiler alert. I mean, just because I said I haven't seen it doesn't mean I don't want to see it.
Okay.
I don't want to know about I don't want to know about any turned tables. All right, so
Okay.
Mr. Deacon, what are your
Yes,
thoughts
sir.
on this? I know that we're gonna get around to everybody, but what are your thoughts on this? Elliot, and this is a dead name. Is that Elliot is the new name, right?
Yeah, Elliot's the new name, right? Yeah.
Based
yeah.
on the new the new gender identity.
Yes.
Um.
Elliot Page is his name.
Okay, so Elliot Page.
Okay.
And we don't say the dead name. Is that correct? We don't. Is that how we're referring to it? Or
I guess. Well, you definitely don't want to refer to him in the present as that, because that is the dead name.
okay.
All
All right. So, Mr. Deacon, what do you think about this? Is this news? Is this a big deal? Should it be a big deal? Do celebrities need to, does the press need to make this a big deal? What do you think?
I personally, I'm going to stay neutral on this, but I'm going to say a little piece. But I don't think it's really newsworthy, honestly, because like the man said earlier, it's the norm now. It's nothing new. These things happen. I honestly feel like certain things that in certain actors' life we don't honestly need to even know about. I just respect your craft, what you do, actor, actress. I'm gonna respect what you do. Things that go on in your personal life, and I don't think we need to know all about all of that. And but some people are more like Will Smith. He does the red table now with his wife, and he just putting all this. I'm just not really feeling that, and it really doesn't bother me as much. So I'm gonna give her credit for her acting prowess, and it is what it is, man. I just can't get excited about it, honestly.
All right. All right. Spence mentioned Bruce Jenner never existed. So I guess, and that's
No, Bruce Jenner existed, but we wouldn't refer to Caitlyn Jenner as that name now.
as Bruce,
is
right?
What I'm saying.
I got you. All right, Daddy Louie, what do you
That
think?
guy was on my bad. That guy was on the cover of Wheaties when I was a kid. And I'm just
he's
that person or
Olympic
her or whatever.
Olympic decathlete. Yeah, absolutely. Daddy
Yeah.
Louie.
What was the question?
So, all right, so is this something
news?
that needs
Is
to
this
be
the
news?
Or is this the norm?
And
Is
not
this
to
the
be,
news?
and I don't mean like I'm not talking about like being insensitive about it. Like fuck it, we don't care, we don't want to hear about this
Right,
shit.
right,
But
right. I hear what you mean.
right, like Jackie had said, is this news or should this just be taken as the norm? But then at the same time, by Elliot, transitioning publicly, is that potentially empowering for others who are, a little bit scared about, transitioning? What do you think?
So it shouldn't be news. It should be the norm. However, it is news because there are still just so many people, not just in this country, but in this world, who are so, I don't know the politically correct way.
Then just say what you're thinking. It may or may not be politically correct, but if it's what you're thinking, let's say it.
They are ignorant to the way that they're set in like this 1800s mindset. Like they don't realize that we live in 2020 now, and you can be whoever you want to be,
right?
And you can identify as whoever you want to. You're not hurting anything. And some people take real offense and they take everything so personally, and it's not about them. I do want to say though that while I say it shouldn't be news, it should be the norm, but it is news because I think it's good that this individual has made it public, because they are very aware of the ignorance that exists in this country and in this world, and they are doing it. They made this announcement in a way to allow other people who are struggling with their identity to feel more comfortable in their own skin.
So would you consider this an act of courage? Would you say that this was courageous for him to do that?
100%. Like what Jackie said, someone else said on
what I read.
Jackie said that someone else said, I don't know who it was in our comments, who mentioned the Ellen thing, right? And it's funny that they mentioned it because I was actually just watching I think it was on the Discovery Channel, like on Thanksgiving. It was like, you know, things that happened in the 90s or something like that. And it was talking about all these different things. And that was one of the big things that happened. Like Ellen coming out on her show the way that she did was a big deal. Like that was a big deal.
It's a big deal,
but it wasn't
her show got canceled.
Right. It wasn't a big deal for it was a big deal for her, but look at how much how bigger it was for the rest of the world, and how
she opened
from that moment, really, society started to change. You know, people started to realize that they could be comfortable in their own skin. And I just want to say one more thing, because I know I'm getting on a tangent. I noticed this post announced the day that it was on ING, which is another gaming / pop culture website or whatever. And I was originally taken back because I actually don't know the character from X-Men, and I don't know him from Umbrella Academy because I haven't seen those. What I know him from is Juno.
Yeah.
And because I've seen Juno like a billion times for some strange reason.
Right.
Yeah, that's just the type of movie that I like. Anyway, so I was originally taken back because, like, you know, in Juno, I was like, I don't know. I mean, she's kind of cute, and you know, I was that age, you know, like when it came out, I was just that age.
Kind of cute too. It's fine.
So, but I was really happy until I opened the comment section of that thread, and I was so disgusted at some of the awful things that people wrote.
Yeah.
That I had to actually get up and walk away. I had to get up. I was at work when I saw it, and I had to like close my computer, get up, walk outside, take a breath, and then go back in, because I was like, it was like, you know how when you get mad, but you're also really sad, so you literally feel like you want to cry but punch somebody at the same time.
Yeah.
It was like tearful rage. I just had tearful. That's the only thing I can think of. Like I had tearful rage, and I'm glad that IGN eventually addressed that, because
and they did. Yeah, I remember when you had mentioned it in our group chat about, you know, how disgusted you were by those comments. I went in there to you know, swoop in and be the great defender, and there was nothing to defend. There was nothing, because IGN went in there and took care of it. Before we get to Chris and Jay Quellen, couple of really good comments in the chat. Spence had made a comment about Rachel, what is it, Dolezal? Yeah, Dolezal, yeah. Identifying as a black woman, you know, although she's not, but she did do quite a bit of positive for the black community. And also John Dusenberry, you know, mentions that people can accept that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but God forbid someone identifies as something, you know, other than what we want to call them, you know, and you know, and that's neat. That's, yeah. Well done. Well said. Well said. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat, so definitely check that out. Outstanding. So Chris, what are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts. It's a step for him in this right direction, because like Louis said, is it news? I think it's only news because he is a celebrity. On the back end, it should be the norm, because he's helping open that door for that person who's scared to come out to say anything. I personally have no issue with it. You know, we spoke earlier this week. There was a video that came out a couple of years ago at, I believe it was a GameStop, and there was a gentleman who was dressed as a woman, and the clerk referred to him as sir.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
And the person flipped out on him. Now, you can't blame the clerk for that, because you didn't rectify it. You didn't say, I prefer to be addressed as ma'am,
Sure,
or miss, or whatever. So the fact that Elliot Page came out and said, that Ellen is my dead name, this is what I'm going to go forward to be known as, him, he, is fine. It's just letting people know,
Mhm.
from this day going forward, this is how you need to address me now.
Right. So, like it or not, you have to accept it. You may not like the decision, you may not agree with the decision, but
Right.
it's still
at
a
the
personal
end of the day,
decision. You want to respect that.
Yeah, it's their personal decision. You have to respect it. You may not like it, but it's not. End of the day, how does it affect you?
Right.
I used to say things like, I've known acquaintances who had problems with gay and lesbian couples, and the first thing I would say is, "Are you sleeping in the bed with them?" That's how I would look at him. They'd be like, "No." I'm like, "Then why is it bothering you?"
Right.
That's how I looked at it.
That's a good point. Yeah. What is it? I mean, how does it affect you in any way? It doesn't. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like I said, you're okay. You're free to not agree, and I think that's something that needs to be talked about on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
If we disagree with something, you almost get crucified for disagreeing or having an alternative opinion. But we are free to disagree, but we have to accept. Like it or not, we have to accept and respect. And I think if we can do that, then more dialogues can open up, and then that's the path to more understanding and more clarity. So I don't know. Jake Wellen, you were nervous. You didn't want to talk about this. Jake Wellen said that she has a lot of theater friends. She has a lot of people in the LGBTQ community that look at her face.
Look, she still doesn't want to.
She doesn't want to talk about it.
Y'all are making me cringe so much.
No, well, but this is also important because, of course, it's you're on a panel with a bunch of cisgendered dudes, and in many ways, especially the cisgendered white dudes, in many ways we are very much the bad guys, But at the same time, our opinions matter just as much as everybody else's. But there needs to be understanding. I'm not going through, what Elliot's going through. I could never understand that. I could never understand what Marcus and Chris have had to go through. I will never understand. I can acknowledge and respect their struggle and what but I could never identify with that. I could never relate to that. I can support and be an ally of, but but it's the same with what Elliot's going through and what other people in the community, what they have to go through on a daily basis. So, but this kind of this dialogue helps with that understanding, I think. So I know you're terrified to talk about this, but what are your thoughts?
I'm terrified to talk about this. So, I understand that our cisgendered white men on the, whatever. I get that.
There's a couple of black dudes too. We try to keep it diverse.
I know, but I'm saying, I get that you're allies.
We need more chicks. It's kind of a sausage festival in here.
Chris is light skinned black. I'm dark skinned black. There's a difference.
That's diversity in action.
Louis is
That's a whole nother
Puerto
conversation.
Half Puerto Rican.
And Louis is half Puerto Rican.
Half Puerto Rican. I don't think that we have any kind of authority or, I don't know that we're the right people to talk about this because we can't understand what Elliot is going through. I do think, it is important to say because Elliot is a celebrity and people need to know so that he isn't constantly dead named and referred to as the wrong pronouns. And, it's something that needs to be said. Sure. It's not the norm yet, I don't think. It absolutely should be, and I'm glad that we're taking a step in that direction where this shouldn't be a big deal. I don't think anybody really has the right or, I don't care if you like it or not. You don't get to have an opinion. This is his life. So that aspect of putting it out in the news is a little scary, and I can't imagine what he's going through. But this is really important for other people You know, like our nerdy community has had to deal with all kinds of bullying. I'm sure we have for all sorts of reasons. You know, this is important for people to see someone out there. Like, I identify as Elliot. It takes a lot of strength to do that, and maybe it's inspiring some people to not be so scared to come out to friends around them. But most other people don't have to do this publicly. This has to be terrifying. I actually pulled up a letter that Elliot wrote. I don't know if you guys saw it on Instagram.
No,
Is it okay if I read like a paragraph of it?
Sure.
And it's, you should all check it out. Elliot Page on Instagram wrote a lovely, educational, inspiring, empowering letter to everyone. But just this middle part says, I also ask for patience. My joy is real, but it is also fragile. The truth is, despite feeling profoundly happy right now and knowing how much privilege I carry, I'm also scared. I'm scared of the invasiveness, the hate, the jokes, and of violence. To be clear, I am not trying to dampen a moment that is joyous and one that I celebrate, but I want to address the full picture. The statistics are staggering. The discrimination towards trans people is rife, insidious, and cruel, resulting in horrific consequences. In 2020 alone, it has been reported that at least 40 transgender people have been murdered, the majority of which were Black and Latina trans women. To the political leaders who work to criminalize trans healthcare and deny our right to exist, and to all of those with a massive platform who continue to spew hostility towards the trans community, you have blood on your hands. You unleash a fury of vile and demeaning rage that lands on the shoulders of the trans community, a community in which 40% of trans adults report attempting suicide. Enough is enough. You aren't being canceled. You are hurting people. I am one of those people, and we won't be silent in the face of your attacks. That's the bulk of it.
Right.
That's
right.
one paragraph. That's the bulk of it. So I guess this moment for Elliot, it's scary, it's joyful, but it's also Elliot has a platform now to speak out against the hate and educate people. I think that's the important
I agree.
part of this.
I agree. And there's a lot of fear and confusion, I think, on all sides of this conversation. You know, one of my children came to me, and, you know, now they are they them. You know, so this is a child who my kid, who I've referred to by a certain name and a certain gender, you know, for, you know, their entire life, over a decade now. You know, and they said that they were terrified, absolutely terrified to come to me, you know, and their mom to talk about this, to open up, you know, knowing that, you know, as a family, we're very open and we're very accepting. And, you know, despite knowing that, you know, we're open and accepting, they were terrified. They were scared. They sat on this for weeks, if not longer. I mean, what kind of pressure was that? What kind of weight was that on their shoulders? You know, to have to, you know, go to your father and your mother and say, hey, I'm not the child that you've been raising, you know, for these last, you know, decade plus years, you know, and that's, you know, but then finally when they did, you know, they did explain things, and, you know, they did come and talk to us. You know, we were like, well, why did you wait so long? You know, but it's that stigma, because they hear it from everywhere else. You know, they hear like what Elliot had said, you know, about the violence and about the hate, and, you know, about the
anger, the unneeded hate and anger.
Right. Right. There's, you know, you're living your life. You're living. I don't agree with the way certain people live their lives. That's just me. And I'm allowed to feel that way. It's okay to not agree with the way someone's living their life. But as long as your shit doesn't fuck up my shit, then we're cool. I think that needs to be the norm. We're talking about normalcy here. That needs to be the norm. And, you know, and Jackie, like you were saying, you know, in Elliot's letter, talking about the hate and the violence and, people being murdered because of their identity. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, how is that okay on any level? On any level. I mean, how do you justify that? A lot of people will use religion to justify that, which is unfortunate.
People hate you because of who you love, who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then turn around and then turn around and the hate.
People, I think I'll go back to what I said earlier. It's ignorance.
Yeah.
People fear what they do not understand.
100%.
It's a long load. It's a tagline that is echoed throughout comics and geek pop culture, period. The sheer anger and hate and the gatekeeping.
Yeah.
That falls right there too. It doesn't belong. None of it belongs. If you have a difference of opinion, fine. The problem becomes when you act in anger or in hate or both.
Right.
That it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
And I'm
Can I
glad.
just say,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jackie.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say to everyone listening and everyone here that I love you. And I saw this, it was probably on TikTok or whatever, but I love you. I love all of you, because if people can hate for no reason, I can love for no reason.
Well said.
There you go. Thank you, Jackie.
All right.
Well said. Absolutely well said. Unfortunately, when you said it, it said that our video feed had paused for whatever reason.
Good.
I don't know why. It's just, maybe Spence can help us out with this, or if there's any other techies out there, we need help with our stream, y'all. I mean, I don't know why it's bottoming out to 0 kilobytes per second. It's just, anyway, I don't know.
But the chat is going nuts, and I love it.
Yeah, and I love it.
The chat, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. But it's about that time. I don't know if.
Wait, hold on. I have something.
Oh,
here.
do you have something?
Wait a minute.
Oh, geez. What could it? Whatever could it be?
Delightful.
The safe word is you've. That's you have.
You've. Okay, not uvula.
Contraction.
You can tell somebody didn't pay attention in kindergarten class with the
My
crayon.
12-year-old made this for me, okay?
That's. Now, Mr. Deacon, don't you feel bad? 12-year-old made that. You ought to be
That's all
ashamed
good,
of
Louis.
yourself.
You fine. She's smart. She did excellent.
But before we jump out, Chris, you had mentioned about comic books and pop culture. This is one of the reasons why I love being a nerd. Yes, there's a lot of fucking bullshit, fucked up gatekeeping in the nerdy community. However, if there is something going on in the world, the art that nerds and pop culture produces reflects that and usually stands against the bullshit. We talk, we look at the X-Men. The X-Men, obviously the X-Men, especially when you're talking about the Mutant Registration Act and things like that, that's saying it without saying it. That's talking about the inequality, in the United States and the world. That's talking about how people of color are mistreated, how close, have we been in human history, in U.S. history, to having people register because they're different,
Exactly.
and comic books talk about that, comic books, it is the
it's
great
in-
American art form,
It is. And it's in Captain America. It's in the X-Men. It's in just about every form. Once you boil it down, it's there.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony mentioned about Daddy Louie's child labor, and you know what?
Yeah.
One thing that I do accept 100% is child labor. Put kids to work.
Damn straight.
When I run for president, that's my platform. Put kids to work. Between the ages of 5 and 12, perfect. Their hands are small. They can get into small machinery parts. They can sew intricate stitches.
Look what Den did.
Right. Right. I
knew
mean,
we were gonna go there.
you know, but let's
Why not?
look
Don't
at
touch the red.
don't touch the red. Right, exactly. Look at Din Djarin. Din Djarin used child labor to get
But
shit
I mean,
done.
technically, that child is 50 years
50.
old.
Sure, yeah, I get it. I get it, but
It's more like elderly label, you know.
but think about it.
Labor.
Why did we get rid of, why did we create these child labor laws? My kids are always hitting me up for money. Well, if you worked in a factory, you wouldn't need to ask me for money because
That's true.
you would get money. I don't need to give you an allowance. Go work at Ford. There's like little small parts. Go work for, some kind of textile manufacturer. Something.
Yeah, my son asked me the other day, when am I gonna get the credit card for Christmas? What? Credit card? The lost
They
your
have
rabbit ass
cheap credit
mom.
cards now where they're like their pictures on.
No,
it real
but that's
big.
not my money. You need to go and earn it. All this snow we got in Cleveland, I said, dude, I'd have been paid. It's a generational thing. I'd have been paid right now to have me a couple $100. He just sitting in the house playing goddamn Grand Theft Auto and shit. And I said, Grand Theft Auto ain't getting you no money.
No,
Get out there
I bet
with
you
your shovel.
he's got millions of dollars on Grand Theft Auto though, doesn't he? He works. He gets paid in Grand Theft Auto. I know.
Theft Auto, yeah.
That's like
I got
years.
a snowblower, man. Come on, go out there and push it.
Years ago, we bought my son a cell phone. It was a flip phone. So this is like back in the day, right? He racked up over $300 in like app charges. He just bought all kinds of shit. Didn't even realize that was going on our fucking credit card, right? We get our statement. What's that?
Or did he?
Oh, no. I was running up I had a Sidekick at the time. I had my T-Mobile Sidekick, so I was running up my own charges. But my boy ran up over $300 and, mom was like, well, we'll take care of it. I was like, nope, he's going to take care of it. He's going to take care of it. So we lived on a military base at the time. So I was like, look, the best way for you to make money right now, go take care of all these dogs. Go door to door and say, I'm here to clean up your dog shit. Door to door. So that's what he did all summer long. And I would say within like 3 or 4 weeks, he had me paid. So, and then after he paid.
And did he keep working
he
after
quit.
that?
He quit.
No, see?
He
Once
quit.
he sees goal.
He quit. I was like, what are you doing? And then he tries to hit me up for like games and stuff. I was like, your games are in that guy's backyard right there. Your games are in little brown piles in that backyard.
The lesson backfired almost to a degree.
Right. And I agree with Mr. Deacon, 100%.
It's
Just
a generational thing.
Yeah,
it is a generational
It
thing.
is.
Go shovel some
It
shit.
is.
If I would wait for it to snow. Shovel in hand, waiting. Come on. Cuz that's like $30.
There's literally 3 seasons in Cleveland alone where you can cut grass,
Yep.
you can rake leaves,
Yep.
you can
Right.
shovel snow.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, you wash cars.
Wash
you
cars.
can
And
do all-
I'm telling you, always go
right.
back to the shit. People don't like cleaning up their dog shit. Always go back to the shit.
My grandma would hire someone for
There you
that
go.
if anyone is around Dover, Ohio.
There you go. There's a couple of kids in my neighborhood. They started a few years ago a little lawn mowing business. They mowed lawns for like $15, front and back, $15. Yeah. Hell yeah, $15.
Yeah.
It's a
Now,
deal.
I would absolutely. I
Right.
have the biggest tree in my neighborhood. I don't.
So you get
wanna
all the
out and
leaves.
Shovel snow, rake leaves, mow the lawn.
but
Come on,
now,
kids.
but now
Come on,
these little
kids.
bastards
I got-
have their own
I got
truck.
$15 for you.
They have their own riding lawnmower. They have
Very
like
small
gear.
yard.
So
You said you feel jealous.
I
they've
just don't want to do it. It's
they've been
really small.
investing their money back into their little company, and now
Mm-hmm.
they have a nice truck. I'm like, well, fuck. I need to start doing yard work or
You need
whatever
to start going mowing grass.
for real. But anyway, all right, we're about to head out.
Podcasting shit.
Yeah, this podcasting doesn't pay shit. I need to start doing yard work.
Great.
All right, so
Mow
we
the
are
lawn.
out of here, folks. We are about to head over to the Inner Circle, and what the Inner Circle is our little private conversations. That's what that is. So that's exclusively for our Patreon subscribers. So if you would like to get in on the Inner Circle, patreon.com/Circle of Nerds. Head on over there, sign up. But for a mere pittance, and it does really help us out a lot. We want to kind of expand things here. We want to add some more podcasts to what we're doing, and any support would be very, very helpful. If you're also into the Circle of Nerds, there's merch guy right there. Order some merch. Get you a hoodie, get you a little T-shirt, get a sticker. Show if you want to wear that stuff in public, and that's going to be at circlenerds.com/merch. And I think that's that's all that pimping. And of course, don't forget about our Mandalorian helmet giveaway. You do not want to miss out on that. So if you've missed out on the word today or any of the other words, all you have to do is go back and listen to the shows or watch the shows again, and that is going to get you all caught up. So we're going to jump into the inner circle where we are going to be dissecting the brand new episode of The Mandalorian.
You said the wrong word.
What?
Dissect.
We're not dissecting the brand new episode. We're dissecting the best episode
Okay, it
of
was
the Mandalorian.
it was good. I wouldn't
It was
say
good.
it's
Look,
the
Look,
best.
I have a
News.
full page.
Got a
of
whole
notes.
damn
Alright.
book.
So we're about to
going down.
we're about to jump over into the inner circle now. And again, if you want to be a part of that and listen to us dissect the best episode of The Mandalorian, and we just talk about all kinds of crazy shit in there. Not like we don't talk about crazy shit here, but we talk about more crazy shit on there. So again, just head on over to nope, that was the wrong button. Patreon.com/Circle of Nerds and sign up and treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Let's go around and find out what everyone's doing outside the circle. Mr. Deacon, what you got going on?
I just did a last episode of the Mr. Deacon Experience. You can catch it on Spotify, iHeart Radio, Radio Line, and Spreaker. And go, because I need help. Go to my YouTube page. It's the Mr. Deacon channel. I need some subscriptions and views. Look out for your boy, man.
There you
It's
go.
hard out here.
It is hard out here. Jay Quellen, where can people find you?
Hey. I guess on TikTok.
You're
I post
blowing
things
up.
sometimes.
You're blowing up
I'm
on
not.
TikTok.
Oh.
You're all your little duets,
I'm not.
lovely singing voice.
but while we're talking about me right now, do you guys guess what my cosplay is this week? My closet cosplay.
April O'Neil.
No.
Wait a minute.
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart.
Mrs. Brady?
Miss,
What?
Mrs. Frizz. Miss Frizz.
No.
L.
I don't know. I
Can-
probably didn't do a good job.
Can you give us
I
a
was trying to make my hair
Wait,
big.
Wait a
the
minute,
yellow.
wait a minute.
Trying to make
Oh,
my hair big. And
Are you
Give us a
Black
slight
Widow.
hint.
Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman?
Spence?
No.
She was Black Widow last week.
I
You're
was
not.
Black Widow
You're not
last
doing Black Widow.
WandaVision?
WandaVision. Wanda Romanoff.
I'm
Well, fuck it.
how about I'm a cartoon?
Jeff Bridges.
Damn.
Betty Boop.
A cartoon. Tom.
Betty Boop is a cartoon.
Tom,
and
Jerry, Mickey Mouse,
I
Donald
know
Duck.
Betty Boop is a cartoon, but dang.
Um,
Can you see the colors that I'm wearing?
Kim
I
Possible.
see yellow and
You might
black.
have to stand up or something.
Yellow
it's
and
not,
black.
It's green.
Yellow and black.
oh,
That
it's
help?
yellow and green.
Oh, yellow and green.
Yellow and green.
Yeah.
You are Scrooge
Green,
McDuck.
green. No.
A cartoon. Oh my God! Come on, Jake Wellen.
Did I just
You know how
tell
many
you?
cartoons I've watched? That's really
Dot
hard to
Warner.
know.
You're the no.
I was gonna say Velma. Or
Rick
something.
and
I don't
Morty.
fucking know.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Give us one more hit.
Lisa
Yeah,
Simpson.
give us a
A hint?
Yeah,
Not
give us a
hints.
hit.
Oh, Disney.
Ariel.
That's not helpful.
No.
Merida.
Tune.
Yes.
I only
Oh.
said that because Anthony said it and I saw it in the chat.
That's cheating because I couldn't think of her name, but I knew who it was.
Anthony
Yeah, I
wins
wouldn't
the
have gotten that
prize.
one. You could have spoke with a Scottish accent, and then we would have known. I
Oh,
would have
yeah.
known instantly.
All right, so Anthony
Wait,
wins
she
a
wore
prize.
yellow?
To eat
You talking?
babies.
Wait a minute. You talking about
I
the one
don't-
with
what?
She's
What a-
Scottish.
the relative turned into a bear? Is that
Yeah.
the one?
Yes.
Where her
What was
mom
it?
just
Mom
turned
turned
Brave.
into a bear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bray. Okay, yeah.
Yep. All right, so
No, I
Anthony.
wouldn't have guessed
I
that
was
in a
trying to
million
go for. I was trying to go big curly frizzy hair. And
Yeah,
Green
all right.
and yellow.
I needed.
I got
needed
it when you went
Scottish
and
accent.
mussed
I was
it up
trying.
there.
I was like fluffing.
No, you got to go Scottish. Give us a Scottish accent. Scottish. Arr.
I got a turtle head poking out.
Oh God. Oh, what the fuck?
Nah, don't
We
do that.
never
What
went
the
down
fuck
there.
Let
Is
her
it-
let her have it, man.
Jesus.
That bastard.
All right.
Yes,
All right. That's it. We are. Oh my God.
It's
Oh.
sexy.
It did sexy.
Daddy Louie.
It's sexy.
Oh, Daddy Louie.
You can find me
I'm
on
happy
What
when
Is
I
It
eat,
Good?
and I eat when I'm unhappy. You know, shit like that.
YouTube.com/Circle of Nerds. Also Monday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern over on Twitch.tv/Play Renegade, where I do painting stuff.
So it's like Monday Night Raw, but you're not raw.
Right.
You're like half
No.
cooked.
Not yet.
You're warm.
That shirtless
They're
stream
still-
is coming up
They're
though.
still trying to. They're still trying to get me to do a shirtless stream. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
Louis is gonna do
All right, we're gonna go topless.
painting for charity.
All right, we're gonna go
Show 'em a
topless.
little
Topless
elbow.
Louie. Topless Louie. So for those of you that are still here, this is kind of a little bit of a sample of what we do in the inner circle. So clothes come
I feel
off.
like
and-
we focus on Mandalorian there. That's the only time
Well,
we're
now
focused.
in the inner circle, you just have to speak with a Scottish accent
the whole
entire
time
You can't change.
Is
It
this
has to
how
be
do
a
we-
Scottish accent.
and show us some titties. Chris.
Friday nights, you can catch me here at the Cosmic Disaster Show.
Yep.
Wednesdays, you can catch me on Nerds on Ice.
Yep.
And Saturdays, you can catch me on Blurred's Eye View.
Yep.
Go ahead, check out the YouTube page, get us some viewership. You can check it out on podcast on anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yep. All right. Outstanding. And again, for those of you joining us today, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. We do realize that you could be anywhere else right now doing anything else, but for whatever reason, the 10 of you who have showed up today have opted to spend time with us. So we thank
We
you.
actually
and
had
we
like up to
appreciate it.
15. I
And
think.
Yeah,
one
up to
of them's
15.
me,
Was it really
so I don't
15
think
people?
that-
Man.
Yeah.
All right. I guess putting our flyers up at that nursing home really paid off. That is
Ah,
that is outstanding. That's good shit. All right. So that is it. Let me find my outro button because I moved it again. There it is. So that's it. Anybody have anything else on the way out? Nope.
Be nice to people.
Be nice to people. Oh, and we're gonna have some
Be
special guests on the
excellent
inner
to
circle.
each other.
Be excellent. Oh, maybe I want to talk about that too. Matrix 4. I got to talk about that, but we'll talk about that another time. So we are going to have some special guests on the inner circle. If you are familiar with the Grey Warden and Mando Girl on TikTok, they're huge over on TikTok, so definitely check them out. They're going to be joining us on the inner circle this evening. So come on over and, don't come over here, but go to patreon.com/Circle of Nerds. I don't know how many more times I can plug that. I'm going to plug it until I can't plug it no more. And that's it. We are done. We are gone. We are out of here. Again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us this week for another whatever this was. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, if no one does anything nice for you, do something nice to yourself. And we'll see y'all next week. Bye.